alluvion marked by a bookshelf. This should be it.
A book from the crossroads. Its pages are filled with numbers and letters splattered around the page in random order, like writing in a dream. Every other book on its shelf is filled with the same nonsense script. In certain lights, the letters appear to shift slightly out of the corner of the eye. This unsigned note was tucked into a bookshelf in the crossroads as if left for someone to find. Do not stray from the marked paths. There are many mirrors. Some lead to danger. Do not linger longer than you must. At the bottom is a crude map of floating islands, some of which seem impossible to reach. The third one is a communal journal, each entry in a different hand, some messages back and forth, and it ends with the note, "No one's to go near that mirror." Ash says, "Don't tell me what I can't do."
Is this some sort of old elven library?
It definitely saw a massive magical backlash some time ago.
Let's hope we can track down the Viddasala in all this.
The pages of this book, Memory, describe a monument made in a single afternoon by 1,000 toiling servants, swarming over a lump of fallen stone as large as a collapsed mountain. By the end of the day, the stern figure of Elgarnon stares down into a valley carved out from the foothills of the rock. The slaves have disappeared, light radiates from the Eidolon's narrowed eyes and its open, snarling mouth. Hail Elgarnon, first among the gods, mark his victory eternal. This memory shows the blazing forms of the Evanuris banishing a howling spirit from the reaches of the Fade that touch their lands. A voice rings out, stern and imperial, for abandoning the people in their time of greatest need, for casting aside form to flee to where the earth could not reach. We declare Zebenkek and others of her ilk exiled from the lands of the Evanuris. Beware, their familiarity with shape allows them to travel paths unaided. They may be bound, but only the protection of your gods will fully shield you from their malice. They are forbidden from the earth that is our right. One of the forbidden ones. This memory describes an elf approaching a city of glass spires so deeply blue they ache. The city's outskirts are wrapped in lakes of mist, and figures stroll along the pearly glowing strips as if they walked on solid ground. Groves of trees woven into enormous parks sheltered elves in quiet hollows, while other elves walk below a river churning along an invisible shoal in the air. The scene hums with quiet talk and contentment as the memory's maker reaches the city's gates, already thrown open wide. So beautifully written. Oh, this looks gruesome. The very private diary of Sandal Feddick. Do not read. And every entry just says enchantment. Of course Sandal was out here. And I'm pretty happy with our enchantments. I guess we could upgrade Dorian's and Master Rune, to a superb. Cool. Thanks, Sandal.
Andaran Atishan, Methadra Elvhen.
More ancient Elven.
If you wish, honored Elvhen, I will speak so your guests understand. I am study. I am a learning thirst. Come, know what has not been lost. New words, new stories. The Kunari would not approach, but we learned their words as well. If you wish to exchange knowledge, they congregate by the lower gate.
What do the old elves use this place for?
This is the Viddasala, the living knowledge of the Empire. The libraries of every city, the wisdom of every court. A connecting place whose paths are in disarray.
What put this place into disarray?
The Viddasala was made with world and fade. When they sundered, so did we. Paths broke, knowledge fragmented, many were trapped. I preserve their last words.
What were these old elves' last words?
What happened? Where are the paths? Where are the paths? God save me, the floor is gone. Do not let me fall. Do not let me. On this spot, that is all.
Jeez.
I'm looking for a Kunari called Viddasala. Do you know what she wants here?
Viddasala, yes. She uses scholars and mages for study. They fear this place, but they seek to know the Veil.
What does Viddasala want to know about the Veil?
I regret I do not have more information. I am sundered from myself. If you discover another one of me nearer the Kunari, I may know more. Kindly give it my greetings. I have not thought with myself for some time.
I could learn so much about my people. What were they like? How long is our history?
I will try to recall, honored patron, but there are gaps, breaks. Greetings, laughter, enasal, forms out of air, light, memories. And yet there are so many broken paths at every missing.
Stop, please, stop. You don't need to hurt yourself.
Yes, wisdom from compassion. Yes, I will stop. Apologies. I knew all once. We knew. With the break, only fragments or knowledge new since the fall.
We'll be going now.
Know this. An unknown person, not of the Kunari, recently woke the librarians.
An unknown person? Could this be our agent of Fen'Harel?
The librarians facilitated learning before the fracture, before the fall. Now, beware them. They are unwell.
There. Kunari. On that upside-down island.
Looks like a camp up there. Down there. Shit, this place is weird.
That repaired some of the steps. Let's look around for more. The inverted alluvion must lead to the Kunari.
Did you notice? Your anchor is flaring up near magic. Elven magic.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure. Tell us if it gets worse.
This memory describes an immensely tall, immensely graceful vine that flowers with the heat of a copper sunset and has blossoms as large as ponds, petals as long as a man, and scents puffing out like citron and sky and carrion death. The days that last the vine's fold, spent and extinct, the creator of this memory weeps, and after recording the flower's sights and sounds, enters the Fen'Hara. Treasure this thought, for it was the last of its kind, and so much more than the last of me. This shows a narrow plateau on top of a mountain. Two armored figures, one in gold, one in black, are fighting in the snow. Steel flickers so fast the air hums. Blood dots the ground. They do not stop for breath. The one in black makes no sound as a blade parts his throat. Mythal, in her wisdom, interceded in an argument between Elgar'nan and Falandine. With clever words, she convinced them to settle their grievance through a battle of their champions. Elgar'nan and Falandine agreed and set their champions against each other rather than declare war among the gods. May those nights long be remembered and Mythal's wisdom praised. Really not the best solution, but I guess it just shows that Mythal is imperfect. Was imperfect? Nah. This shows a solemn group of elves in an amphitheater of living wood, entire trees grown into seats and stairs for the listeners to recline on. Two other elves in a spirit of learning are speaking in turn on ways to bend the properties of the material world when casting spells. At the end, the spirit, with the air of a senior lecturer, floats forward and booms in a surprisingly deep voice. The unchanging world is delicate. Spells of power invite disaster and annihilation. The unchanging world is stubborn. The pool of the earth fiercely resists, making fire run like water or stone rise like mist. The unchanging world rings with its own harmony. Listen with fearless hearts, and great works will unfold.
Back when I was a spirit, this wouldn't have bothered me. Now it's all wrong.
This memory describes a pair playing, colliding in the air, bodies formed for kissing, stroking, lines of heat as molten as the sun. The dance is fluid, roiling, never-ending, lovers tangled in a laughing knot that rolls on for years, a promise never to be parted, whatever ages come. An annoyed thought intrudes from one who marked this memory after it was recorded. By the gods, find a private chamber. You know, Aislin is soaking up these emotional memories, but each one she reads would be making her more and more sad, knowing that, along with the terrible tyranny of the Evanuris, that there was actually real beauty here, along with the shared connection, and it's been lost.
These Kunari are dead, but there's not a mark on them.
It just makes sense why someone here soon will describe modern people as if walking through a world of tranquil.
Welcome, welcome. Listen to the last words of those who lived past the fall. How could the dread wolf cast a veil between the world that wakes and the world that dreams? The Evanuris will send people. They will save us. When have you last heard from the gods? When the veil came down, they went silent. What is this veil? What has Fen'Harel done?
Are these records saying Fen'Harel created the veil between our world and the Fade?
If it's true, that means the Fade and the waking world were once one and the same.
These loose pages are scattered about as if abandoned in a great hurry. Algebraic-looking formulae crawl across the pages, spiked with dense annotations in Gunlat.
This looks like technical notes. What did the Kunari come here to learn?
I recognize some formulas. The Kunari are trying to prove theoretical magic of some kind.
Treachery of the wolf. This memory warns of a terrible danger, a wolf with slavering black jaws and pits for eyes. The Evanuris, the elven gods, stand in a ring around it as if preventing it from attacking. Beware the forms of Fen'Harel. The dread wolf comes in humble guises, a wanderer who knows much of the people and their spirits. He will offer advice that seems fair, but turns slowly to poison. Remember the price of treason and keep in your heart the mercy of your gods. A humble guise of a wanderer who knows much of the people and their spirits. Just clear as day. There is a little puzzle to solve up here, but I actually think we're gonna skip it because we don't need it. So let's run down here. Oh, wrong path. Down this one.
These blocks are heading toward that upside-down Elvhen. It's a place of learning. Maybe this Viddasala is helping us find what we need.
And if we needed any more tragedy, let's just throw in this right here. Alright, back to the library. Anchor blast. Discharging the anchor now deals damage to nearby enemies.
The pain stopped.
It keeps coming back.
Yes, but she would like for you to ignore that, Varric. And as soon as she starts hearing pity in your voice, you're heading home. More bees. We'll see who gets more honey. That was a very lame reference, my bad.
More dead Kunari, with terrified expressions.
Welcome, and listen to the last words of those who walked this place. If we get out of here, I will end Fen-Haral. After he held back the sky to imprison the gods, the dread wolf disappeared. Lies. We must tear down the veil, the cities, the pathways. Without magic, they're crumbling. You're wasting your time. Fen-Haral's veil has turned our empire to ruins.
So the ancient Elven Empire collapsed because the Veil weakened magic?
Do you realize what this means? What this place is? The actual history of the elves could change everything.
Be careful what you wish for.
Look at this place. Now that we have so many samples, how hard would it be to build Illuvians of our own?
Oh, I knew this one apostate in Kirkwall you would have gotten along with like a house on fire.
After these past few years, it would just be good to create something magical that is also helpful for a change.
Hard in Hightown chapter question mark? I actually do love how this one ends. You want to hear a badly told story about a bastard prince with an unholy love of cheese? Why not? We've got time. And while the blonde man spun his unlikely tale, the two of them watched the last of the light vanish in peace.
What the? I never wrote this. You think we could take a couple of these books back with us?
Unfortunately, I don't believe any of these are physical objects. They're ideas. You just see them as books.
Even if you could take them out of here, they're probably written in ancient Elven, which not even my people can read.
I've never read an Elven novel. I wonder what kind of stories they told.
Instructions on how to reach the deepest parts of the Fade, realms so far removed they've been unmarked by dreamers. Epiphany requires a mind smooth as mirror glass, still as stone. Put aside 10 years for practice, and the next 100 for searching. What others have learned will ease your journey. Those who never manifested outside the Fade will find it easier to find its stillest roots, but it is rare the compulsion overtakes our brethren of the air. This describes a heated argument between a group of well-dressed elves inside an elaborately arched pavilion on an island floating in a void. In the distance, haloed by a blizzard of light, thousands of elves are maintaining an elaborate magical ritual that pulls raw essence from the Fade, funneled into a sphere in the air. Through the lens of the sphere can be seen a world of indigo waterfalls and rust-red jungles, and a temple palace so frescoed and cleverly carved it is a masterpiece in itself. The well-dressed elves' shouting grows so loud it can be heard over the magic. One leaps at another, howling and pulling out a knife burning with prismatic flame. And supposedly these are architects in a friendly debate over the color of the palace's roof trim. So some of the unsavory traits of the ancient elves there.
That should be enough stairs. Let's see if we can reach the inverted alluvian now. There, the librarians.
Hello.
Not the time, kid.
Their fault. Siram Viramalas, Shibera Melava.
Anchor blast move is too fun.
Survivor of the breach, herald of change, hero of the South.
The Viddasala, I presume.
After fulfilling your purpose at the breach, it is astonishing to hear you still walked free among your people. Your duty is done, Inquisitor. It is time to end your magic.
I've defeated all your Ben Hasrath so far.
So you have. The repercussions have already begun. I am no stranger to catastrophe, but this chaos in the South defies comprehension. The Qun left your people to curb your own magic. You've amply proven we should have stepped in long ago.
Is that what Dragon's Breath is for? Murdering our heads of state just to control our magic?
Do you believe closing the breach solved everything? That its consequences stopped there? The day we saw the breach, the Qun decided its action. We would remove your leaders and spare those who toil. This agent of Fen'Harel has disrupted everything. Lives that were to be spared, lost for him.
Who is this agent? Why would you think they work for the Inquisition?
Kill the Inquisitor, then follow me to the Dargarad.
Meaning you don't know. Please excuse my Qun lad. Its subtleties elude me, even with your patient teaching. We pulled everyone out of the palace. The Shem nobles, so it's an elf, assumed we were servants leaving on an errand. We are hiding where you told us, waiting for signs that Dragon's Breath has begun. Victory is in the Qun.
No wonder the Qunari translated notes into our language. It was for their non-Qunari spies.
There is a chest up there and also a fun little target, but we're gonna keep it pushing. The Risk of Cerebos. This one begins with a description of why it's dangerous to use mages, but then in the next section says, "We have learned from this place that there lived an elven mage who saw a great wrong and sacrificed all to right it. This mage made the veil, which protects us from the Fade. This veil stripped power from his rulers, who had treated their people with such excess that it makes the southern kings and queens seem staid. Thus does every action carry rightness, and all paths converge. In his greatest magic, the elven mage became an agent of peace throughout the veil. In our willingness to brave this place, we may discover how the veil can be strengthened through our own mages. For that, we risk our lives. The Cerebos who have joined in this endeavor understand the dangers and have made their choice. Remember the words of Ashkari Koslin. Existence is a choice. There is no chaos in the world, only complexity. Knowledge of the complex is wisdom. From wisdom of the world come wisdom of the self. Mastery of the self is mastery of the world. Loss of the self is the source of suffering. Suffering is a choice, and we can refuse it. It is in our own power to create the world or destroy it. For peace, we will endure any horror here. We will create a safer world or destroy the old one."
These are Viddasala's papers. She brought mages here to research strengthening the veil. It explains why the Kunari thought it was worth camping here.
Visitors, patrons, welcome. The halls are open.
Can you tell me where a Kunari called the Viddasala went?
Yes, we heard much, although she fooled herself into thinking we could not hear. Take a keystone to the Darvarad. I will join you there soon and take stock of our remaining Gatlock powder.
I found a keystone with one of the Kunari.
Yes, and you need words for their key. Maras Nira. It glows. It will open the way to the Darvarad. May you find what you seek. In coming here, you strengthen the bonds. I can now raise one, if you wish to go.
You've been very helpful.
Viddasala was what the Elvhen called me. One who guides seekers of knowledge true. I was connection. One city could read the records of another, one Elvhen feel the memories of another. When the veil fell upon us, I marked the end of all they knew.
We've got to find this Darvarad and corner Viddasala there.
Your agents confirm there are Gatlock battles in Denerim's palace?
Yes, and in Valrayo and across the Free Marches. The Winter Palace is not the only target.
The Kunari are one order from destroying every noble house in the known world.
There is a bright side. Warning the ambassadors will remind them of the Inquisition's value.
Not when the Inquisition is responsible for that threat.
I take it you have new information.
The Elven servant handling the barrels confessed to working for the Kunari.
But the servant was Orlesian. That implicates Orlais, not us.
But the barrels arrived at the Winter Palace on the Inquisition supply manifest.
How are we supposed to fight a war when we can't even trust our own people?
Do you know who got the barrels onto the Inquisition manifest?
Yes, several of the Inquisition's Elven workers have gone missing. I had their backgrounds checked. They joined the Inquisition after fleeing the chaos in Kirkwall.
I remember when Kirkwall was at its worst. Many of the city's elves converted to the Qun, trying to find a better life.
And the Kunari turned them into spies.
We can't change what happened. Only how we react to it now.
I fought to protect the Inquisition in this exalted council. And for what? So we could deceive and threaten those we claimed to protect?
Once we locate the spies...
This isn't about the spies. You hid the Kunari body. You've all but seized control of the Winter Palace.
We did what was right, not what was politically convenient.
Do you know what this has cost us with Orlais and Ferelden? They are planning to dismantle us as we speak. And perhaps they are right.
She's been bottling up a lot of emotions, and it's about time to let them out.
Oh, shit! Damn it! We save Ferelden and they're angry. We save Orlais and they're angry. We closed the breach twice, and my own hand wants to kill me. Could one thing in this fucking world just stay fixed? I need to get to the Darvarad. You all can fight amongst yourselves once I'm back.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Would you like us to inform the Exalted Council of the danger?
Nah, screw those guys.
We can't finish this fight while worrying about the Exalted Council. For now, we keep this to ourselves.
Understood, Inquisitor.
I'll have guards ready at the Elvhen, in case the Qunari attack the palace.
Make a watch over you.
Well, being angry feels a lot better than being sad about one's own imminent death, so let's take some aggression out on some Qunari, shall we?
Nightingale told us what happened with your hand.
We all knew this was probably our last time out together. Let's make it a good one.
All right, Bianca. Let's show all the tall people how it's done. One last time.
We helped, all of us. I won't forget.
Enjoy me while you can. I expect you'll all miss me terribly later.
The Darvarad. All right, everyone. Get ready.